Hey Seth, Demetrius here. Just throwing together this quick video for you to show you a little bit about what I do and how I help small businesses generate more leads, right? So I typed in disaster restoration Bend, Oregon. And when I did, you notice that there were a couple outfits that are running some ads here. Central Oregon Disaster is one of them, which honestly is kind of strange to me, seeing as how they dominate a lot of the space anyway, so they don't really need to be running ads, but let them waste their own money. But anyway, as we get down in here, right, we take a look at the map pack, and you notice that they actually have two GMB listings in their and they're both in the map pack, right? And the other is Deschutes Disaster Restoration. And one of the reasons that these guys are dominating this space, aside from the fact that there's not much competition here, is that they have optimized their listings and also added more citations than any of the other few competitors in the space, right? So when I did an audit on these guys, this is what I found. This is a little tool I use that helps me find citations that the businesses are using. And so when I ran the audit from top to bottom, right, you see Central Oregon Disaster has 53 citations listed. Deschutes Disaster has 13, and ServPro has 23, right? So Central Oregon is crushing everybody else as far as number of citations, which is one of the reasons these guys are in the top spot. And then again, I said like optimizing their Google listings, which I notice you do not have either or, and that's something that I could help you with should you decide to wanna get in that space and start competing, which I think you should. So next we have content, right? So I took a look at Central Oregon's website. First thing I noticed is that they do have several pages, and that's one of the things that Google likes to see as far as establishing a business as an authoritative figure, is having a lot of service pages, and on the home page having content, right? Not just photos. You notice here these guys have a little video here that they're probably, well, it doesn't look like it's linked to YouTube, but it's giving them some power here. It's a little bit of juice. But these guys don't have a ton of content, right? But they have some pictures. And so Google normally likes to see anywhere between 700 to 1,200 words of content on the page. Now, the fact that these guys did name their business Central Oregon Disaster Restoration, that is one of the main search terms when people are looking for disaster restoration here in town, right? So the fact that they have that plastered in a few spots, it does give them a little bit of credibility there as far as search goes. But other than that, right? I mean, they don't have. I mean, their website's pretty cut and dry. The other thing, right? So when I went and I pulled up yours, I believe this is yours, and I crawled that over, and it's right at the first sight, it is lacking some content as well. Great that you put call to action at the top of the page, right in the header. That's great because people who are looking mobile want to be able to get a hold of you quick, right? They don't want to have to try and go looking for a phone number, but you could use some content in there, right? So you have Bend Disaster Restoration, but that specifically is not a highly searched term, and so I did an audit there on Central Oregon's keywords, and here's their list, right? So Central Oregon Disaster Restoration on a monthly gets 200 searches a month, and a 1 KD, which means it's not too terribly difficult to get in there and start ranking. And so these guys in first position average about 37 hits to their site a month, right? And as you look, there's some other keywords that they're ranking for, but really the ones that are city mentioned, right? Bend, Oregon, Central Oregon, that sort of thing. Those are the ones that we want to go in and start ranking for. Not necessarily Central Oregon because that's not a buying term, and it's spelled wrong. Not to say that doesn't happen, but not something I want to focus on. But again, like I said, right, Restore, gets quite a bit of search. But things like that, right, will help move you up in the ranks. So just getting a little bit of content on your site, right? Like I said, 700 to 1,200 words of content, which is not that hard to come up with, especially in your space. And and then last but not least is backlinks. Now, what are backlinks? Backlinks are essentially votes to your site, right? So the best way to explain that is, let's say you are linking to a disaster restoration company in Los Angeles or Dallas, Texas, right? Oklahoma City, Miami, Florida, right? Larger cities. You're going to pull more juice back to your site than if you were to link to, say, Pizza Hut in Bend, right? Because you're in the business of disaster restoration, not selling pizzas. And with that, not all links are created equal, right? And so the more powerful, relevant links that you can get is going to pull more juice to your site and help you move up in those ranks and start beating out these guys. So like I said, when I click on the map pack, right, there's only a handful of competitors here in this space. And like I said, with the keywords, right, not very difficult to beat out. So if we can get in here and start competing with these guys and potentially dominate, I can take a look and let's see how long these guys have had this site up. Let's see if it'll tell me. It's 2011, right? So that is the one factor that you got against you, is just the fact that it's this time, right? And that's something you can't really do anything about. But you can do all these other factors, right? And it's going to help you move up in here and start competing, right? Because just look on here in the organic listing, these guys are 1, 2, 3. They're mentioned here. So the top 4 spots that Central Oregon Disaster Restoration has, right? So again, citations, content, backlinks. If you want to know more, give me a shout. You got my number, 541-408-2206, and you'll have my email once I shoot from the video that I send this link to you from. And let's get together, man. There's some opportunity to be had here. I know you can grow your business. Last but not least, I wanted to show you kind of call log rates. So this is the type of opportunity that can be had, right? So this is the asphalt company here in town that I work with and I told you about. And so this is just a rolling 30 days, right? The last 30 days, they received 60 calls, right? And, I'm not sure how many calls you're getting for your services right now, but what would, even if it's half of the 30 or 40 calls a month of new calls coming in, right? What would that do for your business? So I hope this helps, and give me a shout, and talk soon.